We don't have public schools that are inculcating American history. And Craig Shirley is with us now, historian extraordinaire, author, founder of Shirley Bannister Public Affairs, in addition to everything else he does. But Craig, the more I see this coverage, this sob story coverage of the Caravan, the more I think about what these individuals would do if someone breached their threshold in their own homes, and whether they would, welcome them in, give them food, shelter, tell them to stay a while. Would they? Of course not.
Welcome, of course not. No, of course not. And we already know the answer of Mexico when they invaded their country is that they assaulted police officers there. Look, first of all, we need to stop calling this a caravan. A caravan suggests this is something
fun,
comical or fun, or a circus or something like this. This is a mob of illegals. That's all it is. No better, no more, no.
It's an invasion. It's an invasion.
Precisely. And everybody who's a member of Congress swore a oath to protect the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, right? From the president on down to every member of Congress. They are duty-bound to protect this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And if these are illegals and if they cross the border, then they're enemies. That's all there is to it. And if they're not, then they should resign their office.
I think, again, the fact that we are not all hands on deck to stop this,
right.
And that, the president is apparently the only person willing to really call this what it is. When you violate the immigration laws of Guatemala, Mexico, you ignore the rule of law and are about to do it in this country.
Right.
What are you? But they're not criminals. Well, they have no respect for countries' sovereignty or borders. Period.
Which makes them criminals. That de facto makes them criminals, and that's why we've got to stop treating this as a PR disaster. This is, from a political standpoint, this is manna from heaven for people like yourself, myself, others who are concerned about the sovereignty of this country. Now instead of a trickle or them, sneaking over under the cover of darkness or climbing fences or whatever, now we've got an open, massive, out in the daylight invasion. And if this doesn't scare the bejeepers out of Middle America, then nothing will.
Well, again, we want people to come to our country who respect it enough to not violate law the first chance they get, or game the system that is to game the system as it exists anyway. Well, the system now is, if you want to claim asylum, you come here, you go to a port of entry and you say, I claim asylum. Then we have to process them into the country. Then we don't have beds for them, so we release them. Most of them don't show up. That's it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I don't like the word asylum, because asylum to me means somebody comes in the United States because of political oppression. Is that these people are not politically oppressed. There's no such thing as economic asylum. There's only a political asylum. And so if you come here for the goodies, for the free stuff, for the handouts, for the welfare, for the food stamps, is that you're not coming here for asylum. You're just coming here to pawn yourself off on society without giving anything back. Look, these people weren't wanted in their own country anyway, but the fact is that they need to go back.
Well, and again, the president seems to have the pulse of the people, again, better than any other American politician on this.
Yes.
I'm talking, I was shopping with the kids over the weekend, and, I'm in my mom's soccer clothes and have my sunglasses on, so nobody knows who I am. With my camouflage baseball cap on. And I'm listening to people's conversations about this. People are outraged. Outraged about this.
Yeah, the same where I live too. Is that when we were at the grocery store this weekend, listening to people, everybody was talking about this, and everybody was outraged about this. Nobody's in favor of this except for the elites. But the funny thing is that the elites never let these illegals into their neighborhoods anyway.
Oh, bingo. Well, they don't want their classrooms filled with people who speak multiple languages, don't speak English.
Their living rooms.
No, they don't want it.
Their backyards, yes. They're private schools.
It has nothing to do with skin color, where you come from. It has everything to do with the fact that this becomes a burden on the system if you don't have an orderly process of immigration. Period.
Right.
And it's just absurd. I want to.
that's the other thing Trump needs to ram home, and the Republican Party, and anybody concerned about the rule of laws. Every one of these people in this movable mob of illegals could apply for citizenship. All they have to do is go through the process.
Oh, no, well, they don't want to do that. They say, well, I don't have time. It's too dangerous in my home country. But that's not, that is not a justification for asylum because your country is corrupt. Well, welcome to most of the world.
Yes, precisely. Then go back and change your government.
No one wants to go back and change their government. They want to just, get into the movable mob. I like that. Movable mob. Mobile mob. It's a mobile mob. Mobile mob is even better. No, but this is what they want. You're right. A caravan is kind of a fun, rollicking group of
clowns.
Who wouldn't want a caravan in the country? I mean, we all want a caravan.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's caravan to the football game. That means you got three cars. We're all following each other. Yeah, that's fun.
And then we're going to
tailgate. Yeah. That's David in North Carolina. We're with Craig Shirley here. David, go ahead.
Hi. Laura, we need to stop using the rhetoric of the left and calling this a caravan.
Yeah.
It is an invasion.
Yeah, I think, look, that's what Craig just said, and I'm going to start doing that going forward. It's not going to be a caravan. This is a mobile mob. Craig, I want to play something from your dear friend John Meacham, who has moved so far left now that he's a regular panelist on MSNBC. This is what he said about the Democrats' chances of a massive blue wave now slipping away because of Kavanaugh and probably this immigration and these great numbers on the economy that came out today with Trump's approval, Republicans' approval way up. Let's listen.
Trump is not a wholly new force in American politics. But he is the most vivid manifestation of many of our worst characteristics. The Constitution was written for moments like this. It assumed that we were sinful and driven by ambition and appetite and greed. That's why they made it so hard for us to get anything done. They basically bet that we would get things wrong more often than we get them right, and we have proven them correct with astonishing regularity.
Reaction to that?
Well, I agree with his analysis of the Constitution, but to what end? To what point? I don't understand the point he was making. Is that what has Trump done to violate the Constitution? Sounds like Trump is supporting the Constitution. It's the liberals who are opposing the Constitution. So I don't understand his point.
No, again, we're sinful because we elected Trump. That's it. That's why we're sinful. We're not sinful because of all this other stuff that's happened and criminality and pornography and all the other things that we've embraced. We're sinful because we elected Trump.
By the way, just for record, I think the blue wave is going to turn out to be a leaky faucet at best. I just there's nothing I sense out there, Laura. You remember in '94, you could feel it. You felt that there was an upheaval coming against Clinton and the elites. It's just everywhere. So the Republicans were dominating the debate and winning the debate, and the Democrats were left just defending Bill and Hillary, and who wanted to do that anyway, especially since they only got 43% of the 2 years before. Is that as clumsy as Trump is, he's still talking about issues that are on people's minds, whether it's the economy, whether it's the border, whether it's ISIS, all those things are on people's minds. Is that the Democrats are not talking about anything, and from politics is that you can't beat something with nothing. And right now the Democrats have nothing except opposition to Trump, and that's just not going to cut it outside of San Francisco and New York and New England.
Yeah, this is more of Meacham.
This is an extreme moment, but it's not a wholly separate moment. And I think that until we genuinely grapple with the fact that Donald Trump hasn't hijacked the country, he's just magnified our darker elements, we probably can't really come to the kind of resolution we need to come to.
Oh my gosh.
John should know better. Look, he's an old and very dear friend of mine, and I know he's a friend of yours, but he should know better. This is not a crisis. You know what a crisis is? Being attacked by the Japanese in a sneak attack on December 7th, 1941. That's a crisis. The Cuban Missile Crisis. That's a crisis. The bank caused economic turn down of 2007. That was a crisis. I fail to see what the crisis is in America today, except those who support the rule of law and those who oppose the rule of law. That's the crisis.
Craig Shirley, thank you so much for your insights and
Thanks, Laura.
You're very charitable in how you describe the gobbledygook coming out of Meacham. What is he talking about? He's not even making sense. The darker elements. When you lose, it's the darker elements. I mean, this is ridiculous. The public is voting for safety, a sound economic policy, and overall fairness, and against political correctness, open borders, and enriching China. That's as far as I can tell. That's what the public is saying. America first. We'll be strong for other countries, but if we don't get this country fixed, we're not going to be good to anyone else. And I think that's what they're voting for. I think it's as simple as that. Craig, thank you so much. We'll take a break. Don't go away. Thanks for listening to this podcast excerpt of The Laura Ingraham Show. If you'd like to receive podcasts of our complete shows, go to lauraingraham.com and sign up to become a member of Laura 365. Our Laura 365 members get commercial-free streams and podcasts of our shows every day we're on the air. And also, you can listen to the last 30 days of The Laura Ingraham Show. Be ahead of the curve. Join Laura 365.